Good night. Yeah. Hey, we got any Bi-Mart shoppers in here? You know, I like Bi-Mart. There's only one thing I don't like about it. It's the smell. You know, you crack open the door and immediately it smells like baby boomers. You know, just like somebody took a huge dump in an adult-sized diaper. And in case you guys have probably noticed by now that I have issues with baby boomers. And here's the reason why. It's not without reason. Okay, guys? So I'm in the gym. You know, I'm just trying to carve a few extra pounds off of my burlesque trucker's figure. This screams romance with cheeseburgers. You know, and there's this guy in there named Dave, and he's a staunch Republican. And he's arguing and bickering and fighting with this guy named Lane, who's a very vigorous Democrat. And they're sitting there having this elderly battle royale. It looks like they should be in an old folks home, but they're doing it in the gym. Well, Lane looks at me and says the one thing to me that I don't want to hear that day, guys. Hey, let's get this young man's opinion. So, guys, I worked in politics for 6 years. I hate politics. I'll take deer ticks over politics. Any day. And they have Lyme's disease. And it's not the kind of Lyme that you can put in a tequila. It's the type that kills you. But then again, so does politics. But I said, well, you know what, since you guys asked, okay, Dave, Lane, you know what, we've had great discussions. I love you two guys apart, but together occupying the same space at the same time, you guys stink on ice. You know, I just didn't want to deal with the fighting, and I said, but here's my views on politics, okay? So Republicans say they're going to protect my right to bear arms. Democrats say I can marry whoever I want to. But guess what? Rent isn't any cheaper. And you know what they're calling hamburger these days? Red gold. And the reason that there's two parties is because you have two pockets. And so that's what we're dealing with is you've got these guys that politics make people angry, guys, and that's what they're designed to do, keep people divided and angry. And so I don't like that. I worked in that for 6 years, like I said, running cameras and stuff. And so I'm not fond of the whole thing. I've had Republicans try to run me over to protect their hunting spots, and I've had Democrats try to run me over to protect the animal. You know, so I think it's just an excuse for people to be jerks. You know, that's what politics are for. And most people, if you have a political view, you're just a person with a political view. It's not that I have a problem with, it's the politicians. There is no such thing as a good politician. That's like saying that there's a good dog turd. You know, there are no good dog turds. That's like saying there's a good used car salesman. You know, I haven't met one of those either. But, you know, I don't feel like you should complain without presenting a solution. And I have a solution, guys. Vote for Supertrucker Tim in 2024. And here's my campaign slogan: I can't screw things up any worse than they already are. So you see my name on the ballot, or if it's not there, scratch it in. Supertrucker Tim. Yeah. I'm going to make sure, you know, I'm not going to do Vermin Supreme where he says everybody gets ponies and lollipops. I'm just going to say, I'm not going to screw your paychecks up any worse. You know, and guys, I was in Dubois, Wyoming once, right? And there's a whole room full of baby boomers who are the true problem, and they're sitting there fighting. And dude, these guys were trash talking racially, and they covered every race in the book. Right now, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I'm very observant. And I noticed the only two guys in there making coffee are Native American, with a whole room full of people talking smack, you know. So I walked up to the guy at the counter and I said, hey dude, love your culture, love the people, the Native American girls are very hot. I married one, in fact. Can I get a cup of coffee with no piss in it? And he looks at me from across the table and says, absolutely. Now, the coffee still smelled like piss, and it tasted a little bit like piss. But I'm hoping I got less piss. Thanks, guys.